Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, July 18th. A major pattern change is about to take place for the eastern third of the nation. It looks like a very wet weather pattern will begin this weekend in the eastern part of the nation, and it looks like it'll continue right through next week. The chance for showers and thunderstorms will increase later in the day on Saturday as an unusually deep upper level trough sets up shop over the Midwest. Could be a strong coastal low that forms during the middle part of the weekend, affecting places like the Jersey coastline all the way up to New York City and Long Island. And it looks like once that upper level trough sets up shop over the Midwest, it'll stick around, get reinforced throughout next week, and it could turn out to be a very wet weather pattern for the next 7 days or so, again beginning this weekend. So anywhere east of this line right here, this is the NOAA forecast for precipitation totals over the next 7 days, and doesn't begin until the weekend. We have a very nice pattern here for the next few days, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Comfortably warm conditions and lower humidity than recent days, but it all goes downhill this weekend. And again, this wet weather pattern that begins this weekend looks like it'll last right through next week. Lots of rain for the eastern third of the nation beginning this weekend for the next week or so. Well, let's get into some of the reasoning behind this wet pattern that will set up this weekend. Again, a deep upper level trough will set up shop here. Now, this is a forecast map from last night's run of the Ensemble GFS version at 6Z, and what we're looking at are 500 millibar height anomalies. Starting off today, Wednesday, with blues showing up here over the northeast U.S. That's below normal heights. We had a change in air mass overnight with a strong frontal system that produced numerous showers and strong thunderstorms in the mid-Atlantic region. A little bit cooler today, but even more impressive is a drop in humidity. Comfortable conditions, not only today, but tomorrow and Friday as well. Let's move forward in 6-hour increments. These maps available from tropicaltidbits.com, and head towards the weekend. Here we go. By late Thursday night, Friday morning, we see this deep upper level low starting to take shape over the northern plains. And it slides south and east, so that by the time Saturday morning rolls around, deep upper level low situated over the Great Lakes and kind of a negative tilt to this axis right here. What we mean by that is when the upper level low is sitting in this position right here and its axis is shaped from the northwest to the southeast, that's a negatively tilted, what we call a negatively tilted trough. If it was oriented from the northeast to the southwest, that's positive tilt trough axis. This sets up quite a bit of upward motion in this particular quadrant, and that will be the case not only this weekend but well into next week, as we'll see in a moment here. This tends to stay firmly established over the Midwest. Actually, it gets reinforced by another upper level feature here, but a lot of upward motion here. We'll put a little plus here for the upward motion right over the I-95 corridor with this kind of a pattern. Here we are on Saturday morning. Now let's move forward and see what envelops here, what develops here. Still, strong upper level low, and anytime you have a feature like this in the middle of July, it sets up a lot of instability. Basically, this is colder than normal air in the upper part of the atmosphere. And of course, the sun is still very strong. Lots of low-level heating, cold air in the upper part of the atmosphere relative to normal. That creates a lot of instability. So not only will there be plenty of rainfall this weekend into next week, but perhaps some strong thunderstorm activity as well. This is the Sunday morning forecast map, again, from the last night's ensemble run of the GFS. At this time, there very well could be surface low pressure right along the coastline, anywhere in the Saturday night to Sunday time frame. This could have a big impact on places like the Delmarva Peninsula, the Jersey, especially the Jersey coastline, up to New York City, Long Island. Maybe some wind gusts of 40 miles per hour or so, some heavier rainfall. We'll have to watch for that. Not necessarily a tropical system, but whether it's a tropical system or not, whether it's named or not, doesn't really matter in terms of the sensible weather. Potential exists for some heavy rain and strong winds with a coastal low Saturday night, Sunday time frame. Again, upper level pattern, still very unstable. Look, let's keep moving forward. Again, these maps from tropicaltidbits.com. It just stays in place here. Here we are now, Monday afternoon. And notice up here in northern Canada, another upper level feature. That tends to drop south and east and basically reinforces the upper level low situated over the eastern half of the nation. Here we are now by next Friday. Still, upper level low sitting just to the west of the I-95 corridor. The bottom line here, a big pattern change coming. Beginning this weekend, a much wetter weather pattern. Looks like it'll go through next week. Now let's take a look at the GFS, operational GFS forecast maps at the surface for the next several days. Well, here we go, beginning this morning, Wednesday morning, and here's that beautiful high pressure we alluded to last week and over the last few days. Whenever you have high pressure to the north and west this time of the year, that's a good thing. That usually results in comfortable air masses, whereas off the coast in the Bermuda high position pumps in warm and humid air from the southern states. Beautiful air mass here for the next few days. That cold frontal system ushered in this change to a much more comfortable air mass. That high dominates right through Friday. Here we are now into Friday afternoon. Still rain-free conditions here in the I-95 corridor. But notice what's happening now at the surface. Just to the west over the Great Lakes, low pressure, surface low pressure over the Great Lakes come Friday night. And a lot of Gulf of Mexico and Atlantic moisture gathering itself here in the southeast U.S. Let's keep moving forward here. There are some signs that a coastal storm will form off the Delmarva Peninsula or New Jersey area late in the day Saturday. Here's a little bit of a reflection of it. Again, European model has an even more impressive look to a surface low right here along the Jersey coastline come Saturday night, and that could enhance rainfall along the coastline and produce some 40-mile-per-hour winds or so, for example. Surface low still sitting over the Ohio Valley come Sunday morning. Here we are now Sunday morning, and this just stays in place, and we have a chance for showers and thunderstorms not only Sunday, but here we are Monday and all the way into next week. And notice the isobar pattern here from south to north, basically pumping in very moist air from the western Atlantic, the Gulf of Mexico, right up along the eastern seaboard. And with that upper level feature, it just sits in place. The combination of that low level, very humid flow from the south to the north with an upper level low will produce a very wet pattern. Here we are even into the latter part of next week. Here we are now Friday morning of next week, a week from this Friday. So again, a big pattern changing coming to the eastern third of the nation with much wetter weather beginning this weekend, continuing through next week. We may eventually have to deal with flooding concerns here in this kind of a pattern, but enjoy the next few days. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday look spectacular. Goes downhill this weekend. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.